Hi, guys. Welcome to Give Us the Game podcast. We are here with your hosts, Fendi and Robbie. How are you all? We just want to bring you all along on our very first episode, The Foundation. So I want to do it. And friend, how are you today? And how is your week going so far?
Thank you for asking, friend. I am doing amazing today. I'm excited, per usual, for another episode. And my week has been coming along well. It's been busy. Kids, work, recording, the usual. But I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. How about you?
My week is good. Like I'm really excited. I'm glad I've created like a schedule and I'm really trying to follow it. So that really brings me a lot of excitement. I feel motivated right now. No complaints, so that's a good thing. So far everything is really, really good. I'm just really excited. So if you catch me like smiling a little bit too much, you're like, girl,
We
I'm
want
just
you to smile, girl. We want to see that beautiful smile every day.
Thank you, friend. You as well. So, guys, we want to get into our show. Today's show is we with the foundation. And the reason why we start with that is because we want to bring you all on a journey to um, go in and kind of rebuild some things. So we're doing it all together. We're starting over, and the first start of it is the foundation. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about a few things. I have my notes here, so you guys, we got a lot of information packed into this episode. So stay tuned. We're gonna jump right into our discussion today, which is health. Um, we got some interesting things to talk about regarding just overall health, how to kind of maintain some things within yourself, and kind of talk about some things that we do to maintain our health. So I will start with we're going to start with some facts um, because that's the most important thing here. And I would say we're going to get into the insight of failing health in America. And just doing a little research, Robbie, I noticed that the number one cause of a lot of failing health in America today has been linked to several different things, but the number one thing that stood out that's like on top of that CDC list was heart disease. And so that really struck something within me because inside the heart, just think of us, as humans day to day on what we actually, endure with our bodies, whether it's, the components of physical health and another one that we've identified yesterday, which was spiritual health. I apologize. And there's one more. We're going to save it for the end because we're going to tie all this in. We've come up with a new revelation. So it's actually three components, but the two we're going to touch on first is going to be physical health and spiritual health.
Yes.
So when it comes to physical health, Robbie, I would say me really starting to get better with exercise, dieting, things that I'm doing, work and things like that. So I'm really starting to pay attention to that. And there are some issues with physical health within America. Is there something you would like to speak on, Robbie, regarding the physical health of Americans?
Well, we see the imbalances. I see many imbalances when you're not tending to yourself physically. After, doing some research and some studying on my own time, I was able to find out that physical health ties in with mental health. And like you said, we'll get into the mental health, the spiritual health, and all of that later, but it's definitely important the way you eat, how active you are, and just staying consistent with it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, guys. So, yeah, that's a struggle that America is having, or Americans that we're having, the physical health component. We just got to do a little bit more as people. It is our job to, take care of our body physically, get out and do the things that we need to do to keep our bodies going.
Yes.
So that's a problem, because without this, it alone or can contribute to heart disease. So the next component was the spiritual health. So one thing that we have been highlighting in our lives and just in our routine is, adding prayer, reading certain information, certain scripture, and just really trying to understand life within itself spiritually. And that's a very important thing that it regards to our health. Many people may, not understand, or they may disagree. Well, Robbie, how do you feel about the spiritual connection and its importance to the heart and the health?
I feel that spiritual health, you know how I feel. I love to feed my spirit. I always talk about the fruits of the spirit and what it does for you and how it comes out in your actions. So I feel spiritual health is just as important, if not more important, as physical health.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's like spiritually, if you aren't right, I feel like other things will be interrupted, your heart, your mind, everything. So it kind of coincides with one thing that we were gonna bring up, which we kind of got into yesterday on a private discussion. Mental health and spiritual health. So what I'm starting to, to a conclusion of just my opinion is that mental health has replaced spiritual health.
Mm.
The reason being, Robbie asked me something. She said, when you're mad, how do you categorize? Do you put it in, would you say it's mental, or would you say it's spiritual?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, mental. I mean, to me, like, I'm thinking in my mind, like, it's a mental thing. It's an expression. It's a feeling. But honestly, sometimes it can be linked within your spirit. Robert, do you feel like we were kind of in agreement with that, or is there something you want to?
Yes, you hit the nail right on the head. It is linked to your spirit. And I know a lot of people probably won't agree with that, but if you look at the people around you, the people that are in your circle, the word of God says that you will know the spirit by its fruits. So to me, the fruits, it speaks to the things that we're able to produce in our actions, with our thoughts, with our words. And basically, if you are neglecting your spirit, and you're not analyzing what is being fed to your spirit, then you could be led by your flesh. And in turn, if you're feeding your flesh, that it's a spirit behind that keeps you alive anyway. So if you're feeding your flesh, then that is the thing that's going to be leading you. So when you have people that lashes out and like anger problems, imbalances with their emotions, and it starts to fester inside of them, it's a spirit. We're hosts. It's a spirit that attaches to that. And I know, like you said, a lot of people think that mental, just pushes spirit out of the way. But if you do your research and you really study your word, you start to get those revelations just through reading the Bible. I'm not an expert in that, but I know me personally, I definitely value feeding the spirit, more so than the flesh. Because we see what type of destruction takes place in the world. God is not playing with us when you feed your flesh, when you
Yeah,
allow. you know, if it's not fed in a positive way, to allow negativity to come out into your actions, what that leads to. So if you're not feeding your spirit and your spirit is premature, then your flesh is going to be the one that's in control.
Right. And I appreciate you linking that together. And that's all that, my point where I was getting at, that, we want to be dismissive to either or. But however, spiritually, with a person that's, sane, we want to prioritize that for sure. It just in my opinion, you want to prioritize that. But of course, like I say, not being dismissive to mental health or, mentally healthy, because there are, different mental illness. Of course, in this world is so many. But when you're looking within yourself, I definitely would, say look to your spirit, and, work on your mental health. Do the things you need to do. If you're chemically imbalanced, get the help, get the assistance that you need to get help, research, where your mental is, and, talk to the spirit. There's a lot that lies within it. So,
I'm getting something right now, friend. I'm so glad that we prayed before we did this, because I'm getting a revelation right now. And
come on.
what that is, basically what I'm getting right now is your spirit is linked to your awareness. The word of God says we perish for lack of knowledge. And a lot of times, people who are not feeding their spirit, their consciousness, their awareness is stagnant. It's like they're asleep. It's like their spirit is lying in a dormant state. But when you start to feed your spirit, you start to activate your powers, and you start to get access to knowledge and wisdom in areas that you didn't even know existed. You're able to read something that might mean one thing to one person who doesn't have that spiritual awareness, but a person whose eyes has been opened, and their ears have been tuned to hear the word of God and to understand it, can take a multitude of different revelations from one message and apply to their lives and actually have healing and abundance in so many different areas. And like he said, you'll be fruitful and you'll multiply. So that you could take that and go out and teach it to someone and help raise their awareness about it.
Yes, absolutely. I agree so much with that. And, thank you for the revelation. It's very powerful. So guys, we just want to say, as far as coming up with solutions, revolutions to problems that were within physical, spiritual health, and mental health, we want to know, how can we fix some of these things, as much as possible, because even though the brain is the first or most important organ, the heart is the second. And, for a healthy lifestyle, we have to start with this foundation of the heart. It's gonna, keep you here as possible, kind of attending to some of the components of it. Yes, we know most of the times it might be, your lifestyle. How are you eating, exercising, like that? But also, we want you to pay to the important components, the physical, the spiritual, mental. So, Robbie, with that, I want to go ahead and provide, possible solutions. So maybe direction of how we might know how we are maintained. Would you like to go ahead and I'll follow up behind you?
Of course. So starting with the mental, definitely taking your detoxes, your cleanses, citrus, smoothies, juicing, whatever you can do to add more nutrients to your body naturally. you know, as far as, and that helps with your mind, that helps with your body, that just helps with everything. Your body is a natural cleansing, healing machine. So I guess taking inventory of the habits that you have and correcting the ones that aren't serving you in a purposeful way. Body coincides with the whole eating and exercising thing. Mental coincides with that as well, but also adding meditation for the mental side. For your spirit, I would say praying more, asking God to raise your awareness of the things that you need to acknowledge that you're not seeing, the
Yeah.
cleanses that you need to have, taking spiritual baths. I take spiritual baths, and all that is just running a tub full of hot water, soaking in it, no soap or anything like that, maybe add a little sea salt or something, and just praying. You know, maybe I like to add oils to mine, like a little olive oil or something, and just praying over yourself, playing some music, maybe some spiritual music, or just nothing at all. But when you do that, you cleanse yourself, admitting truth to yourself, like admitting the things that you need to work on, the things that you struggle with, um, apologizing and repenting for wrong thoughts, wrong language, wrong behavior. Those are all ways to cleanse yourself. And my friend is teaching me also, you know, don't be afraid to be vulnerable and to cry and to release, because that's another way to, just like when you exercise, you release by sweating. When you cry, you release with tears. Breathing and meditation, you release through your breath, you know, and clearing your thoughts out. A lot of times we don't allow the space for God to come in and to have a moment with us because we have so much other stuff in the way. So it's like once you're able to clear your thoughts and you train yourself, it doesn't, it's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, especially when you have a mind that races constantly and that's thinking and it's just going. But when you manage to do that, you're able to hear from God, like really, really hear. God communicates in more ways than just words, but he communicates in some of the deepest, most beautiful ways. You know, you can look outside and he can use something to communicate with you. And each experience that everyone has is going to be different, and some experiences may be similar, but this is what works for me. Like I said, spiritual baths, eating right, exercising. It's a journey. Consistency is the biggest factor to
Yeah.
continue to do it, to take note of it, mark it off on a calendar so you can keep track of it, and to celebrate your milestones, like small milestones. If you get through a week, if you get through a month, have a celebration for yourself, you know, and just download the Bible app, or you know, open your Bible and just read one page a day. Reading is good for your mind as well.
Yes. Oh, girl, you have to steal some of your moves. I have some that are, you know, pretty much yours, friend. So same, like I know something you like in the beginning was coming up. The schedule is really, really important, and this is just touching on all the physical, spiritual, and the mental. But you know, having a regimen in the morning and actually writing it down, seeing it, just really, especially just organize as much as possible and really going down that list and kind of checking off what I can, you know, not adding stress to myself when I can't. And then on my list, doing some of those things like the physical activity, the exercise, and the eating, the diet plan. It was a lot of things that I had to remove from my diet, you know, kind of making me feel a certain way. Robbie spoke to detox, and I, you know, detox and do those things. Spiritually, you know, starting my day off, prayer, um, you know, kind of cleaning up a lot of things in my phone with social media, people that I'm reaching out to and connecting. You know, I've made my circle just about as what they say, make your circle the size of a Cheerio, just about the same. It just me, and that's probably speaking to the mental, you know,
Right.
careful with, you know, what I'm consuming throughout the day, whether it's TV, social media, just really having a balance with it. people that I interact with, my social interactions, going out, actually just getting the fresh air, the sunlight thing that I need to kind of help me. And these things have helped. I feel much better when I'm doing them. I feel accomplished when I so if you guys can kind of come up with, kind of a routine for your life, for your day, that is really, really a start. And it's some more things that we really get into with, like, we got to have a real talk conversation as well. So, that go to giving y'all the game. So we say, give us the game, and that's all of us. And we want to have a real talk conversation, because even though we went through the physical, the mental, the spiritual components, there are other things that leads up into, heart disease.
Right.
Upon researching. So I know some things stuck out as far as what we're actually doing. And if you guys are actually out here doing this, like, stop. That's the whole thing. Just stop. If it's chemicals, smoking, that is a big thing that you stop doing. Is there, because I know we were both looking, what else people just try their best to just.
I mean, you definitely giving them the game. You putting me on game and some stuff that I know I need to stop doing. And I've started already to work on the areas that I feel like I'm imbalanced in, and I've definitely seen better results. So just to continue going forward, keeping the momentum. If you fall off, get back up, pick yourself up, go try again. Stay consistent. Consistency isn't something that we just wake up and that we're born with. It's something that you have to practice. So, just do it, man. This is your health. This is for you. This isn't for us. What we're doing is for us, but what the people need to do is for them. We're looking at the studies, we're looking at the report, and it's sad, to keep seeing so much pollution, not just in what we're being fed by social media, but what we're putting into ourselves. Like you said, your circle need to be as small as a Cheerio. That right there is that for me.
Yes.
Because some of the people that are in some of the folks' circle that I know I used to be attached to, they're not feeding them. They're not feeding them in a positive way. You could just see their spirit just deteriorating. You could see their mind, whatever dream they thought they had, got people being negative, haters. You got haters in your circle, all kind of stuff. I don't want to go on and on about it, but you definitely touched me when you said that, because a lot of people think that it's about like the more the merrier. When you don't know the spirits that are on those people, and you don't know what you're welcoming into your temple, into your household, into your lifestyle. So just monitor it and take inventory.
Yes, I agree. Friendships, relationships, ladies, that plays a really big part into, these stressful relationships and friendships we in, let them go, guys. It doesn't serve any purpose. It actually really does to your health. Just a lot of things in your life, like I say, whether it's relationship, chemically, physically, the eating part, eating, bad foods, stress. That is the main thing. Just, stress and really overloading the body. Me and Robbie have gotten into, it's kind of controversial, but, with our studies and finding and just really sticking with it, we've developed a somewhat holistic lifestyle. It is not the easiest to do, but it's the best thing to do. And that's what we want to bring here for you guys. Best thing to do. This book, Robbie, I'm sure you have your book, but I have it here. If I flash it to the viewers really quick, this book here has just been really big guide to us. There's so much information in here as far as, just living your best quality of life. Just some of the eating habits, some of the habits, all of those things. They're very important. And we want y'all here because what we're doing is we're laying the foundation for the next generation. And if we cannot combat these issues, these diseases, we won't, won't be here as long to guide the next generation. So it starts with our foundation, taking care of our foundation and laying it for the next. So very important, guys. I can't stress it enough. So practicing what I preach for sure.
Yes, I agree. I'm in total agreement.
Is there anything else you would like to leave to the people? I think we hit a lot of points on y'all today. We got a lot of things coming, so we just want y'all to stick with us. It's Rob, is there anything else you want to leave with our people? We're gonna keep well wishes.
I would just say everything that you said, friend, touched every topic that they need to hear. You fed them. You gave them the game. You fed them mind, body, spirit. They got it. Now all they got to do is do it. Apply it.
Okay, y'all. Let's do it together. We all learning. We all in the learning stages right here. Let's do it together so we can be here and be healthy. So I thank y'all. We love y'all. We will talk to y'all later, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. Please stay tuned. So everything's linked together. We have links. We have descriptions on things, and we're gonna have some other resources in the description. So thank you guys. See y'all next week. Bye bye.